The tire felt cold against the back of my skull, and in that singular, terrifying moment, as crimson pooled beneath my head and Madame Alice's face contorted from rage to horror, I had no idea that the blood now staining her pristine marble floor would reveal a truth that would shatter both our worlds forever. This is a very touching and shocking story you would never want to miss, and this story has taught me a lesson that I would also want to share because you will never wish for this to happen to you. But before I continue, please subscribe to my channel for more videos weekly. What you're about to hear will challenge everything you think you know about fate, cruelty, and the invisible threads that bind us to the people we least expect. My name is Uju, and 6 months ago, I believed that taking a housemaid position in the affluent Lekki Phase 1 neighborhood of Lagos would be my ticket to a better life. I was 23, desperate, and naive enough to think that working for the wealthy meant working for the kind. I was catastrophically wrong. The agency had painted a beautiful picture. Madame Alice is a successful businesswoman, very particular about her home, but fair. Fair. That single word would haunt me for months. What they failed to mention was that Madame Alice wore two faces, one for the world outside her gates, and another, infinitely more vicious one, for anyone unfortunate enough to exist within her walls. I remember the day I arrived with crystalline clarity, the way you remember the moment before an accident, when everything still seems salvageable. I had packed my entire life into a faded Ghana-Must-Go bag, the kind with blue and red checkered patterns that every Nigerian knows intimately. The weight of it pressed into my skull as I balanced it on my head, walking through those imposing black gates with my worn rubber slippers slapping against the interlocked pavement. Her house was magnificent, a towering structure of glass and white stone that gleamed in the afternoon sun like something from a foreign magazine. The living room alone was larger than the entire one-room apartment I had shared with 3 other girls in Oja. Crystal chandeliers hung from ceilings so high they seemed to touch the sky. The air conditioning was so cold I could see goosebumps rising on my arms. I was admiring the space, my mouth probably hanging open like a village girl seeing the city for the first time, when the slap came. It was so sudden, so explosive, that I didn't even see her hand move. One moment I was standing, the next, my cheek was on fire, and my Ghana-Must-Go bag had tumbled to the floor, spilling my few belongings across her spotless white tires. Who gave you permission to enter my house with those filthy slippers? Madame Alice stood before me in a flowing red kaftan, her skin the color of burnished mahogany, her face arranged in an expression of such pure disgust you would think I had committed murder. She was beautiful in the way a cobra is beautiful, elegant, commanding, and absolutely lethal. My hand flew to my burning cheek as tears sprang to my eyes. The agency sent me. I'm Uju, the new housemaid. I know who you are, she hissed, cutting through my stammering explanation like a blade through silk. What I don't know is why you think you can disrespect my home by tracking your gutter habits all over my floor. Take off those abominations you call slippers and go clean this mess. Your room is at the back. And if I ever see you wearing anything on your feet in my living spaces again, you regret the day you were born. I should have left right then. I should have gathered my scattered belongings, walked back through those gates, and never looked back. But I was broke, homeless, and the agency had made it clear, leave this job, and you're blacklisted. No one wants a maid who can't last a week. So I stayed. What followed were weeks that ground away at my spirit like sandpaper on raw skin. Madame Alice didn't just employ me, she seemed to feed off my degradation, each day inventing new ways to remind me that I was nothing less than nothing in her world. The mansion became my prison. I woke at 4:30 every morning to begin my duties, scrubbing floors that were already pristine, polishing furniture that gleamed, preparing breakfast that had to be perfect or face her wrath. She had rules for everything. The way I folded her towels. The exact angle at which I should place her teacup. The precise temperature of her bathwater. But the rules were designed to be broken, I realized eventually. No matter how perfectly I performed a task, she would find fault. It gave her an excuse to unleash whatever darkness lived inside her. The worst came on a humid Thursday afternoon, 3 weeks into my employment. I was in the laundry room, sorting through the week's washing, when Madame Alice appeared in the doorway. She was holding something wrapped in tissue paper, her nose wrinkled in theatrical disgust. "Wash this," she said, dropping the bundle at my feet. I unwrapped it carefully, and my stomach lurched. It was her underwear, soiled with menstrual blood, the stains dried dark and crusty. "Ma," I said quietly, keeping my eyes downcast, "I cannot wash this. It's not right. Please, Ma." The silence that followed was terrifying. When I finally looked up, her face had transformed into something inhuman. Her eyes had gone cold and flat, like a doll's eyes. "What did you just say to me?" I said I cannot. I didn't finish the sentence. Her hand connected with my face again, then again, then again. She grabbed a metal hanger from the nearby rack and began beating me with it, the wire leaving angry welts across my arms as I tried to shield myself. I was screaming, crying, begging her to stop, but she was possessed by something I couldn't understand. "You will do whatever I tell you to do," she shrieked, her voice raw with fury. "You are nothing. You hear me? Nothing. You should be grateful I even let you breathe the same air as me." The beating only stopped when the gateman, alarmed by the screams, came running. Even then, she dismissed him with a wave and left me crumpled on the laundry room floor, my body aching, my soul shattered. I washed the underwear. But here's what made it all so much worse, so much more confusing. Madame Alice was a saint outside those walls. The following Sunday, she insisted I accompany her to church. It was a massive Pentecostal cathedral in Victoria Island, the kind where everyone arrived in luxury cars and designer clothes. I sat in the back while she sat in the front row, and when the pastor called for testimonies, she stood up. "I want to thank God for sending me Uju," she said, her voice dripping with sweetness as she gestured toward me. "This young woman is a blessing to my household. She works hard, she's humble, and she has reminded me of the importance of kindness and charity. I'm so grateful to have her." The congregation applauded. People turned to smile at me. I felt my chest swell with something dangerous, hope. Maybe I had misunderstood her. Maybe the beatings were aberrations, moments of stress that any wealthy woman might experience. Maybe this public acknowledgement was the real Madame Alice. I was a fool. We returned home, and I prepared her lunch with extra care, wanting to live up to the praise she had heaped upon me. Jollof rice with fried plantains and grilled chicken, her favorite. I arranged it on her best china, carrying the tray to her bedroom with a smile on my face. She glanced at the plate, and her expression clouded. "What is this?" she asked quietly. I looked down. There, on the rim of the plate, was the smallest smudge, barely visible, probably from my thumb. "Ma, I'm sorry, let me." She picked up the plate and, with deliberate slowness, upended it over my head. Hot jollof rice slid down my face, into my eyes, my nose, my mouth. Chicken grease matted my hair. Plantain chunks stuck to my clothes. "Get out of my sight," she said, her voice deadly calm. "You're too dirty. Too disgusting. I can't stand to look at you another second." I stumbled out of her room, rice falling from my hair with every step, and something inside me began to harden. This woman was a monster. But I had nowhere to go, no money saved, no family to return to. I was trapped. The fourth incident, the one that would change everything, happened on a scorching Tuesday afternoon in June. I was sweeping the driveway when Madam Alice's Mercedes pulled up. She stepped out, imperious as always in her business suit, and backed at me, "Wash the car. Now." I put down my broom and looked at her, really looked at her, for perhaps the first time. "Ma, I've never washed a car before. And the gateman is here." The slap came from nowhere, then another, my head snapping back and forth like a rag doll. "Did I ask for your opinion? Did I ask what you can or cannot do?" And something inside me, something that had been bending and bending under the weight of her cruelty, finally snapped. "Why?" The word exploded from my throat, shocking both of us. "Why are you so wicked, Ma?" Madam Alice froze, her hand raised for another blow. "You go outside and you behave like you're responsible, like you're good," I continued, the words pouring out now, unstoppable. "You smile and you praise God and you give testimonies. But you come inside these walls and you become a beast. Why? What did I do to deserve this? Why do you hate me so much?" For 15 seconds, I counted them, she just stared at me, her face cycling through expressions, shock, rage, something that might have been shame, then rage again. "Are you talking to me?" she whispered. Then she lunged. What happened next occurred in fragments, like a film missing frames. Her hands on my arms, her nails digging into my skin. Me trying to pull away, to run. My feet finding perches on the smooth driveway. Racing toward the house, thinking if I could just get to my room, lock the door. Her hand catching the back of my shirt. The world tilting. My body pulled backward with tremendous force. The edge of the marble staircase rising to meet me. Impact. Then darkness, shot through with bolts of white-hot pain. When my eyes fluttered open, I was on the floor, and something warm and wet was spreading beneath my head. The ceiling swam above me. Voices shouted from far away. "Oh God! Oh God! Oh God!" Madam Alice's face appeared above mine, and for the first time since I'd met her, I saw genuine fear in her eyes. "Don't move," she said, and her hands were shaking as they pressed against my head. "Don't move, Uju. I'm getting help. You're going to be fine." But I could see my blood on her hands, so much blood, and I thought, this is it. This is how I die. Beaten to death by a woman I don't even know, in a house that was never home, without ever understanding why I deserved this. St. Nicholas Hospital was a blur of white lights and antiseptic smells. Doctors rushed around me, asking questions I couldn't answer. My head felt like it was splitting in two. Someone was shouting about blood loss, about needing a transfusion immediately. What's her blood type? We are running the test now, but we need blood now. Use mine. Madame Alice's voice cut through the chaos. I turned my head, a mistake that sent new waves of agony through my skull, and saw her rolling up her sleeve. I'm O negative. Universal donor. Take whatever you need. The nurses rushed her to a nearby station, and for a moment, everything seemed to settle into a strange calm. I was stabilized, prepped, moved to an operating room to stitch the gash on the back of my head. The surgery took 2 hours. When I woke up in a private room, which seemed absurd given that I was a housemaid, Madame Alice was sitting in the chair beside my bed. But she looked different. Broken. Her makeup had run in dark streaks down her face. Her hands were clasped together so tightly her knuckles had gone white. A doctor stood near the door, looking between us with an expression I couldn't read. Uju, the doctor said gently, you're going to be fine. The surgery went well. But there's something we need to discuss. I tried to sit up, but Madame Alice made a small sound, almost a whimper, and I froze. When we ran the blood compatibility test, the doctor continued, we discovered something unusual. Your blood type is B positive, which is incompatible with Madame Alice's O negative for a direct transfusion. But in the process of running full panels, we found something else. The room seemed to hold its breath. We found genetic markers that indicate Madame Alice is your biological mother. The words didn't make sense. They hung in the air like foreign objects, refusing to be absorbed by my brain. That's impossible, I whispered. My mother died when I was born. I grew up in an orphanage. Uju, Madame Alice's voice was barely audible. She was staring at her hands, at the blood, my blood, still staining her fingernails. 15 years ago, I gave birth at Lagos University Teaching Hospital. They told me my baby died during delivery. That she never took a single breath. She looked up, and her eyes were drowning in tears. But you have it. The birthmark. Her trembling finger pointed at my neck, just below my right ear. It was a small, crescent-shaped mark, faded with time but still visible. I'd had it my whole life, never thought twice about it. My baby had that exact mark, she whispered. I only saw her for 30 seconds before they took her away. They said she was dead. But I saw that mark. The hospital room became a confessional. The doctor explained that baby switching, while rare, was not unheard of in understaffed hospitals. Someone, a nurse, an administrator, perhaps even a desperate mother, had taken Madame Alice's living child and replaced her with a stillborn infant. The records were falsified. The truth buried. The child I raised, Madame Alice said, her voice hollow, the daughter I thought was mine, she's not. She never was. And you were out there, alone, growing up in an orphanage while She couldn't finish. Her face crumpled, and she bent forward, sobbing into her hands. I should have felt something. Elation, maybe. Or anger, God knows I had enough of that stored up. But instead, I felt numb. This woman who had beaten me, degraded me, treated me as less than human, was my mother. Why? The word came out broken. Why were you so cruel to me? If some part of you recognized me, even subconsciously. I didn't recognize you, she said fiercely, looking up with swollen eyes. I swear to God, I had no idea. I was just broken. When they told me my baby died, something inside me died too. My husband left me a year later because I couldn't. I couldn't love. I couldn't feel. I became successful because I threw myself into work, into achievement, into control. And I treated everyone terribly because. She stopped, swallowing hard. Because I was punishing the world for taking you from me. And then you, my actual daughter, walked into my house, and I punished you most of all. We stayed in that hospital room for 3 days while I recovered. During that time, a strange transformation occurred. Not forgiveness, I wasn't ready for that, might never be ready, but a kind of understanding. Madam Alice barely left my side. She told me everything, about the pregnancy, the difficult delivery, the moment they handed her a wrapped bundle and said, "We are sorry for your loss." About how she demanded to see the body, how they'd shown her a still, silent infant with the umbilical cord still attached. How she touched the baby's cold cheek and believed her world had ended. "They must have switched you right after birth," she said. "Giving me another woman's dead child. And gave you to the orphanage, probably told them you were abandoned." The cruelty of it was staggering. 2 lives destroyed by one malicious act. But here's the thing about karma that no one tells you, it's not always about punishment. Sometimes it's about restoration. Sometimes the universe breaks you down completely so it can rebuild you into what you were always meant to be. On the 4th day, Madam Alice, I couldn't yet call her a mother, brought me home. Not to the servants' quarters, but to the main house. To the guest room with the king-size bed and the view of the garden. "I know I can't undo what I've done," she said, standing in the doorway as I settled into the unfamiliar luxury. "I know sorry isn't enough. I destroyed you, Uju. I broke you in ways that might never heal. But if you let me, if you can find it in yourself to give me a chance, I want to spend the rest of my life making amends." She dropped to her knees then, this proud woman who had beaten me and starved me and treated me like garbage, and she bowed her head. "Please," she whispered. "Please forgive me. Please let me be your mother." I looked down at her, at this broken, weeping woman, and I realized something profound. We were both victims. Victims of a cruel twist of fate, of a hospital's negligence, of circumstances neither of us could control. She had lashed out from her pain, and I had suffered for it, but we were both drowning in the same grief. "Get up," I said quietly. She looked up, fear stuck in her eyes. "Get up," I repeated, "and let's try to figure this out. Together." That was 3 months ago. Our relationship is still complicated, still raw. Some days I look at her and feel nothing but love for this woman who gave me life. Other days I look at her and see the monster who beat me, and the anger returns like a wave. We're in therapy now, both of us. Working through trauma that runs deeper than either of us imagined. She's learning about empathy, about control, about the ways grief can poison a person. I'm learning about forgiveness, about the difference between reconciliation and enabling, about setting boundaries even with someone who shares your blood. She's also been trying to make things right in other ways. She tracked down 3 other maids she'd employed and abused over the years, and she's compensated them financially and apologized, really apologized, not the performative kind. She's changed her will to leave everything to me. She's told everyone we know the truth about who I am. But here's what I want you to understand, this isn't a fairy tale. I didn't move into a mansion and live happily ever after. Wealth doesn't erase trauma. Blood doesn't automatically create love. What it created was possibility. A chance for 2 broken people to heal together. A chance for karma, which had seemed so cruel for so long, to reveal its true purpose. Because here's the ultimate truth that this experience taught me, karma isn't about revenge. It's about balance. It's about the universe finding ways to correct itself, even when the path is agonizing. Madam Alice hurt me because she was hurt. I suffered because the world is sometimes unbearably unjust. But through that suffering, through that blood on the marble floor, we found each other. We found the truth. And now we are finding, slowly, painfully, imperfectly, our way back to what was stolen from us 15 years ago. If you take nothing else from this story, take this: be careful how you treat people. Not because of some cosmic justice system that will punish you, but because you never know who they might be. That person you're dismissing, demeaning, destroying, they might be the very person you've been searching for your whole life. Madam Alice treated me like trash because she thought I was beneath her. Turns out I was the only person in the world who should have been above everyone else in her eyes. The daughter she'd mourned. The child she'd lost. Karma didn't just punish her by revealing what she'd done. It gave her a chance at redemption. It gave us both a chance at redemption. And that, I've learned, is the real power of resilience in the face of adversity. It's not just about surviving the storm. It's about finding meaning in the lightning strike, about transforming destruction into creation, about taking the shattered pieces of your life and building something new. I am Uju. I was a maid. I was beaten and broken. I was left to die on a cold marble floor. But I am also Uju, the daughter who came home. The survivor who refused to let cruelty define her. The woman who learned that even in our darkest moments, redemption is possible. For everyone. If this story touched you, please subscribe to the channel for more videos weekly. Like, comment, and share your own experiences with karma, redemption, and the unexpected ways life reveals truth. And remember, treat everyone with kindness, because you never know what invisible threads connect you to the people you meet.